Hello, everyone. Hope that you are doing very well, and welcome to this evening's live stream. Actually, fourth video of the day. Here tonight, you have me and Michael. Hope that you are all well. And how are you doing today, Mike?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Great to hear that,
Great
mate.
to hear there. Yeah, how are you doing?
Oh, you know me, mate. Always well, always well. Looking forward to
Nice.
another stream that we have tonight. Obviously, a bit of a different one today. We got a nice, obviously, over the past week, something like this. Been collecting some questions from the people, and tonight we'll answer some of these questions. Go through that. Um, what shall we say to start out? We will say, I suppose, smash that like button as hard as you possibly can. That would be great support to the channel. Just a really nice way of saying thank you, as we currently have elite. That is 1337 viewers. That is very, very nice. So if you want to smash the like on this video, and if you're feeling very kind, you can come over and give us a retweet on the tweet to get the YouTube algorithm going. Hey, Mike.
Definitely. Let's destroy this like button, like completely. Just smash it. Press it so hard you need to buy a new mouse. Come on,
Oh
let's
yeah.
go.
And no refunds given if you break your mouse. No smashing advice here. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, people are saying they love the thumbnail. What do you think of the thumbnail, everybody? It was a pretty legendary one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I like to experiment with different hairstyles, and so yeah, why not this one today?
Yeah. Go from the shaved look to the
The
island
island
boy.
boy.
Yeah, we love the memes that chart champions. We also love to crush the charts, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So, yeah, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Mm,
you cannot deny that our thumbnail game is the strongest in the entire scene. So
we
for that
we
reason,
run this,
smash the
mate.
likes.
If you love the thumbnails and you want to see more of them, smash the like, mate.
Let's go.
Right. So I'm not sure really. We have not really got a structure or plan to this. It's just like how we love to do our live streams, and this is kind of just spontaneous. Let's see how it goes. So obviously we have got some questions pre-selected about trading and everything that we're going to go through. I guess I could start with a quick review of Bitcoin, then we can do the questions, and then we can end with another view of Bitcoin, I suppose. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds
Let's
good
do
then,
that.
mate. Let's go. Um, yeah, I'll go F1 style, as if I'm in the what do you call it when they're in the in the F1 when they're in the pits. What's that
Yeah.
called where they're changing all the tires and everything?
Pit stop.
Pit stop, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
be in the pit stop with I look like a proper pit stop guy with this. Right, let's go. Here we are in the pits. So we want to make a quick tire change here, get in pole position. So let's go Bitcoin analysis in 5 minutes. I know, famous last words. So yeah, obviously, if you see my this is the fourth video of today, by the way. One from me, two from George, and now one from me and Mike again. So fourth video of the day. But if you did watch my live stream this morning, which if you haven't, go watch it because it was a nice one. We're obviously talking about this daily level of support. Okay, and what happened during that? About an hour. Mike showing his mic. Mike showing his mug. um, what happened shortly after that video? We're obviously consolidating in this section of the chart. I'll go down on like a 1 minute chart to show you. Okay, so we done this morning's live stream while price action was here actually on this move to the downside. We're obviously saying that we had ran up into some resistance. It was a resistance level. There's a 5% bounce to the upside. We're open to where it goes to next. Okay. Obviously, myself personally, I was in a long from the daily, had hit take profit one, I had moved my stop loss up. Okay. So obviously on this move to the downside again, my stop loss has been hit, but I will explain the trade that has resumed. Basically from here, we had another move to the upside. Again, during the video that I made this morning, price was here. From that, we actually saw another move to the upside. Okay. We come up to these highs, which was obviously something that we were looking at here with this big confluence that we had around this PDC POC, which is obviously the PDVAL, also around the CC. E.g., we had quite a bit of resistance here, and we come up for another retest for that kind of smash to the downside. We really kind of smashed it down. And what happened? You know, this was what you could call the funny thing, or whatever you want to call it. We actually done a this is what we were talking about. This was posted the swing failure pattern of the swing failure pattern, and that's where you get the unlimited swing failure pattern power. Basically, it was a swing failure pattern of the swing failure pattern. Myself personally, and people have to notice, the way I was trading this, I had originally taken along from the daily. It was a pretty nice entry. Why was I this nice entry? I was ready and planned for this for like 3 weeks. Original entry from the daily, hit take profit 1. I did get stopped out on the subsequent move to the downside. Again, everybody watching this, it doesn't matter if you get stopped out as a trader. It's absolutely fine. If you can hit take profit 1 before getting stopped out, it's a winning trade. You're here to make money. This is why you're here. Okay, so do not be scared about getting stopped out. I personally did get stopped out on the rest of that trade, as we obviously made our way back down, but was given another long trade within a minute. Because why? I had another idea, which was another setup of basically, the swing failure pattern of the swing failure pattern. You can see here a few other people with the same sort of entries. Those entries around $41,000, $40,600. Why? Because basically you then see another swing failure pattern of the previous low, and actually this one had confluence of a really, really big, large trend upturn, high term time frame trend line of the uptrend that we had seen. So we actually saw a bit of confluence on this one as well. It was not just the swing failure pattern of the prior low that we had done earlier this morning. It was now also the uptrend onto the daily. So we kind of saw a bit of confluence here. This is the low, okay, because let me just move this. You obviously then had swing failure patterns, the swing failure pattern. You kind of get a back test of the daily, and you do get a bit of a move up. Again, this is on the uptrend line here on the much lower term time frames, by the way. But you can kind of see how this progressed. This was in my re-entry, basically. We obviously did get another move to the upside. And again, this is a 2.5% move. It's a nice move to the upside. Again, in my opinion, hit a take profit 1, move to stop loss to entry. If it comes down again, it's no worry in the world. We just look for another long trade. Okay, what you might potentially have now is a 3 drives pattern. Drive 1, drive 2. If you do come down again, drive 3. I'm open to, again, I'm like exactly the same as this morning. I'm open to every scenario now, because why? I have an entry. If we drop, I look for another setup. If we rise, I continue to let this run to a take profit 2. Nice position to be in. How do you be in that position? Well, it's by, just taking the trades as they come. So yeah, that was really quick update from what happened this morning. Why we dropped. Why did we drop? Because we ran into that resistance on the retest. Okay, what happened after that drop? Well, we come down to swing failure pattern, the swing failure pattern. And from that, we have had a rise. Ultimately, still the lower high here. Nothing to get too excited about, in my opinion. We are basically in this channel. So I'll just draw this channel. You can see here, low, high, high, low. Really nice channel if you want to add that one onto your charts. With the daily still as support. You can see when you zoom out, just really, really nice channel. Yeah, we'll probably do some more. David Colfart. We'll probably do some more. We'll do some more Bitcoin analysis, I think, towards the end of the video. But yeah, we want to do the question and answers, which people have been tuning in for, asking over the past week. So we will do that first. Then we will do maybe towards the end Bitcoin or altcoin analysis, depending on what people want to see towards the end of the video. But good time to start the question and answers, mate.
Sounds great.
Let's go, mate.
All right, I will kick off for you because I have collected a few questions of you. So, by the way, first of all, thanks everybody for sending in the questions. It's just really humbling to see the way that you guys want to engage with us. So, that is also one of the reasons why we have done like this series of 3 public streams over the last few, basically the festive season. And now it's for us time to interact a little bit more by answering some of the questions you might have, and a lot actually came in. So we do have, we don't have the whole evening, so we kind of needed to keep it compact. So we've chosen out 5 questions that were asked or are generally asked the most. So we're gonna basically cover that. So don't feel bad if your question is not in this stream, because I'm pretty sure we will do more of these in the future, and then maybe your question will be in it.
Oh yeah, and I just have one thing to say, by the way. What we'll do is we got 5 questions each, 5 for Mike, 5 for me. So once we've done the middle, the two or 3 questions each, I have a special surprise. And Mike, I'm not even sure if you know this, but I have actually a really 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 special surprise for you all, which is going to be, I'm telling you now, it's going to make you smash the like button really hard. So yeah, we'll do that after let's say 3 questions each. And then I'll do the special surprise, and then we'll resume.
All right, let's hurry up then, because I don't know. I don't know what you're on about. Like, I honestly don't. So come on, let's get it over with.
He's shaking right now.
No, okay. So let me begin. I have the first question. I'm kind of debating on how I should do this. I guess I'm just gonna read it up. I have the first question I have for you, Daniel, which is from Vojislav. I'm trying to pronounce, sorry if I butcher your name, but I'm trying to pronounce it. So the first question is as follows. How many times can price test support before it is considered that it's showing weakness? For example, Bitcoin has tested the support 4 times now in this mini range on January 5th. Is it still good to trade the big range?
Right. Okay. So first of all, this question was obviously submitted a few days ago before we broke down.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So when was what he's talking about? He must be talking about. Yeah, I think I know where he's on about. So he's talking about this old support here. He's basically talking about this where we were hitting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, or 4 or 5 times when you're looking at it from the 5th of January. So the question is essentially how many times can a support be tested before it breaks? No, that's essentially the question.
Yeah. How long can you continue trading that level?
Right. Okay. So the answer is the answer could be fairly complex, and it can also be fairly simple, I suppose. The most simplest way is, you have to remember that in trading, every single trade is different. You never can replicate a trade exactly. So every scenario is unique. Everything in the market is unique. Yes, we play off statistics that give us probabilities based off of price action. But of course, every single outcome that we play is totally unique. That is why it's a game of probabilities, because of that uniqueness factor. Of course, we can still trade from our statistics, trade from our edges, from what's happened in the past. Of course, it's a higher probability that it replicates again in the future, but no guarantee, of course. So the question of how many times can a support be tested before it breaks to the downside? Well, of course, there is no definitive answer of this. There's no, it tests 3 times, it breaks on the 4th. It tests 6 times, it breaks on the 7th. There's no definitive answer. But what we can start to do is, this is a brilliant example. Of course, this question was from around the 5th, 4th of January. He's thinking to himself, okay, is this a good time to keep longing this support level? This was the bottom of the channel on the CC, but is this actually a good long? We have to think to yourself, consolidation above support is considered bearish. Okay, so this is bearish. Okay, when you consolidate above support, it's not considered bullish. When you factor in as also what was happening here, was a continuous series of lower highs on that support level. So almost a descending triangle, no? So you basically go lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, breakdown. So is consolidation at support with lower highs bullish? Well, the textbook answer here is no, it's not bullish. It is considered bearish. And we could say the highest probability is for a breakdown. And again, if you've been following our videos for the past week, you will know that I have been saying I am staying in my short positions and was not interested in a long here because I was swing trading. I was swing trading from that swing failure pattern for lower prices. So I had no interest in longing here, primarily because I was swing trading. I was actually on vacation. I didn't want to take scalps. Also, with the knowledge of this is considered bearish, the highest probability is a breakdown. It's kind of signed as something you have to factor into your decision making as a swing trader as well. So how did you know that this was going to break to the downside? There was no 100% guarantee it was going to break down. You just have to think in terms of probabilities. Is it a high probability of longing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th touch of a support with lower highs in a downtrend? No, this is a very high probability you break down. This should have been a factor to yourself of saying, hey, I'm not going to continue longing this. The only way, and this is what I even said in a video before it happened, the only way I would have been interested is on actually a reclaim of the resistance flipping into support, which of course didn't happen, e.g. I stay in shorts or looking for lower, or a swing failure pattern type move, which again didn't happen. There was no long setup and it went down lower. And this is the thing, you don't need to be, you basically just need to play those probabilities, and the probabilities were price would head lower. So for a definitive answer of answering your questions, how many times can a support be tested before it breaks? There isn't a defined amount, but if you can read the context of what's happening, you would be able to acknowledge, hey, you know, we're reaching here closer and closer and closer to an apex. At some point, this apex had to break, and that would either have been a break to the downside or the upside. Either could have happened. But if you're thinking a probabilistic manner in the downtrend with the lower highs and lower lows, consolidation above support, the highest probability is to the downside, and that is what happened. So yeah, that's question number 1. And now I got a question for you, Mike.
Oh, okay.
This is from somebody called Roger T. I hope I say this good. Roger T. What's the best advice you would give yourself when you just started trading, and why?
That is a very good question. I would probably start off with saying, hey, Mike, what on earth are you doing? Please be a little bit more patient. I think, all jokes aside, I think the best advice that I would give myself is that really there's if you have a bad day, just leave it and come back and be patient about not only about letting your trade mature into something that can become very profitable, but also have the patience, like give and literally buy yourself time to learn. And this heavily relates to things like risk management and having your stop loss placed on great on good places, that if you do take a loss, right, that your whole capital is not being destroyed. And the thing is, that is like a very technical explanation, but what it really means is if you have good risk management from the get-go, you are preserving that capital so you can allow yourself making a lot of mistakes, right? And then once you start getting what it's all about, or once you find a strategy or an approach or even a trading philosophy that suits your personality, then the losses that you've made are would be really small, and then you only need like a couple of really good technical well executed trades just to make to recover from those learning experiences. And that is basically a way to keep your tuition fee, which is what you're essentially paying if you're if you're experimenting with a strategy or beginning trading. You're paying by losing trades, which is very normal to do, that's your tuition fee. And the trick is to try and keep that tuition fee as small as you can. And also, I would say put the focus on learning, right? Which relates to the patience part. Like, don't focus on making money as fast as you can, because I would not be in a hurry. So be patient for learning, and with that, keep your losses small so you can afford that time as well, right? So I would say that would probably be the best advice that I would give myself. And that patience also is still, till the day of today, one of the most important things that that I think is you need to have as a trader. Just if I would reflect on myself, like, let's say I think it was 2 weeks ago now, I took a trade from the range high at $52,000. If I would look at myself, let's say 2 years ago, there is no way on earth that I would have had the patience to hold that trade till the day of today, right? So but now I'm actually able to do that, because I figured out that that is what I needed for myself, and that is yeah, it has been incredibly important for me. Realizing that definitely, how do you say that, improved my learning curve, or sped it up significantly. Absolutely. So patience and risk management, in the sense of just very disciplined. Don't even think about it, just do it, and never not to do it. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, because that one time, that's what I will add. So even if you, let's say you do 20 times, you do like this really dedicated risk management, and then there's going to be this one time where you are inside joke, by the way, where you're going to do the laundry, and then you come back, and then everything that you've worked really hard for over the last few months, sometimes even years, can be just wiped out in an instant. So just implement that, live by it, and just don't think about it any further. Just do it, right? And don't even think about it. So that's what I would say to myself.
Cool, man. Sounds good. I just thought I just had some guy. I'll just do this question really quickly. It's kind of a bonus one, I suppose.
Yeah,
Some
no
guy
problem.
just donated, and so I'll just do really quick. Do this. Hey Daniel, big fan. Can you show us exactly how you predicted the 64K top 2 years in advance with Fibonacci time, and how could you be so sure about it? Thanks. Pretty easy question for me to answer. So it's this one, and the way that this was done was from a mixture, obviously, of Fibonacci time with Elliott waves with Fibonacci. This was that's the way that I personally caught it. Obviously, the primary way was using Fibonacci time. This was from, oh man, I can't remember the exact live stream, to be honest with you, but it was in a Champions live stream, and yeah, essentially it was using Fibonacci time. And the way that you use Fibonacci time is you're connecting significant pivots in the chart, e.g. major pivot low, major pivot high, extending it from a major pivot low, and it's kind of this then is used to predict in terms of time when a move is going to happen. And as you will remember, that actually managed to signify the high from a pivot found 2 years in advance. I'm trying to remind myself what was the overall what was the it's going to be really hard for me to remember which stream it was in offhand, because obviously we have hundreds of streams. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to remember, I don't think, this off of hand, to be honest with you.
Trying to think with you, but I also really don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. I'd have to try and find it, and it's a little bit hard to find it off of. I remember it being like April. Anyway, it's kind of, I'll try and remind it while Mike's doing the next question. I'll try and remind myself or find it. But essentially, yeah, Fibonacci time is used to basically find a date when a major high or a major low is going to be put in based off of previous pivots. And it's like the stars align, everything comes together. E.g., you hit a resistance And then if that resistance is hit on a day you're expecting it to be, then this is just adding even more confluence that this is when the high is going to be put in, or the low, of course, or e.g. a major pivot, major high, major low. So Fibonacci time for me is amazing, really, really, really powerful. And yeah, that's how it's done. I'm going to try and find while Mike. I'll ask you another question if you want, Mike, and then I'll try and find this. While I
Yeah, no
search.
problem.
So
Go for
your
it.
next question is: Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Would he would love to ask you this question? I have been following you for quite some time too. Did your family and friends support your trading journey? And did trading actually change your personality and style in real
Hmm.
life as well?
Yeah. Um, hmm. That is. Oh, sorry. That is a really, really nice question. Honestly, I think. Um, Yes. So I think it's kind of two questions in one, to be fair. Because the first, I'll answer with the first part of the question. So, did your family and friends support your trading journey? Yes and well, I wouldn't say that they never supported me. Like very close friends of mine, and mainly my family, and yeah, they always kind of had supported me, or they never kind of understood what on earth I was doing with this Bitcoin kind of thing. But my very close relatives, they've always definitely supported me, even though they didn't fully understand what I was doing. And I did take a lot of risk, going from like a very comfortable, day trade. Sorry, day trade, day job, into meddling with the markets, putting my hard-earned money on the line, right? With no real prospect on where this could take me in the especially in the beginning, because I wasn't born a profitable trader. It took really hard work to get where I am today. But in the so my very close relatives definitely have always supported me, but I've also had experienced a lot of skepticism, even to the point of just randomly, like when you live there and you have like a neighbor who's saying like, yeah, yeah, this guy is doing Bitcoin, it's really dangerous, like these kind of like how do you say that, prejudgments are still there. And in the beginning, this is definitely obviously being met with a lot of criticism, or more skepticism, definitely. And then when people start to turn out, when you start becoming successfully, at least this is one of my own experiences, right? I've also been met with jealousy or hateful behavior towards me for some reason. I don't know why that is. But yeah, so it has been hard. It has been a crazy journey for me, right? But I must admit, like if I did not have the support of my closest relatives to me, I don't think I would have gotten this far, because it is a hard journey, right? um so yeah, and that is a really good thing. And that kind of links in really nicely with the second part of the question, as did this trading actually change your personality in real life as well? um I would say yes, but for the better. Meddling with the trading, like in the time that I've been trading, I think I've learned more about myself than I've ever learned before. It's a very, very, very personal journey, and every single win, loss, mess up, of course you're going to get yourself in all sorts of mess all the time, especially when you're learning how to trade. The difference is, though, you get better in solving it quickly, for example, as you gain more experience and and knowledge. um, but yeah, you do learn a lot about yourself, because you are the only one that is in charge here. Nobody is ever going to tell you what to do in the market. You are the person that's hitting that buy button. You are going to be the person who's hitting that sell button, right? So you are always fully responsible for your own action, right? So if you lose money in the market, there's nobody to blame. Like, you cannot do that because you are the person who initiated the trade. You make the decision to enter into a trade in the first place, right? And realizing that you have that ultimate freedom also comes with great responsibility. That definitely at some moments in time definitely learns a lot about who you truly are as a person. Like you're going through all the emotions, especially if you're learning. You're going through fear, you're going through anxiety, you're going to greed, you're going to through euphoria. You're gonna have all of that. And yeah, you definitely learn who you are. And some parts of it, the trick is to completely get rid of that while trading. But with the experiences that I got from trading, I do take some parts of it back to the real life, so to speak. I understand human emotions basically, or at least I think I do. I understand human emotions, for example, a lot better. Yeah, so very, very big answer, I suppose. But it was also kind of a big question. So I hope that that suffices.
Yeah, I actually can lead it on nicely into. There was a comment earlier, and then a reply that I done. It links very closely to what you just said. I'll read it out because it will only take me a minute. This guy says it's very interesting comparing how. Basically, I put a meme. Oh yeah, it was that swing failure pattern meme. It's interesting how I react to a meme a year after being here in Chart Champions. At the beginning, watching the modules, practicing, logging, losing and winning, smiling and crying. I even left for a while because of the pandemic affected a lot his finances, but he has returned now. He is much more confident in reading the charts, applying his strategies, more calm, reacting the market based off the order flow. What an amazing time he's having here. For those starting in Chart Champions, don't give up. Invest time, study as if it was your graduation. Drink a lot of coffee, but study. It will replay. Thanks, Daniel. What you're doing is amazing. Put in all this information here is extremely worthy. No fear, no emotions, but plan and reading the market. My reply to him was this really nice quote by Michael Jordan. That obviously, all of us, including myself, everybody is going to fail. Everybody, especially in trading, everybody's going to lose. Everybody's going to be upset. Everybody's trying to cry. Everybody's gonna, feel ultra depressed. I remember when I was starting, when I would lose, I would literally get depressed about it and really, really, really annoyed. But then you just have to think better days are gonna come. And like Michael Jordan says, he has missed more than 9,000 shots in his career, almost lost 300 games. 26 times he's been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. He's failed over and over and over again in his life, and that is why he succeeded. And the same, I think, would go for everybody that's succeeded. I emphasize this myself. Mike will say the same. Like, we have obviously failed a lot, but it's through that failure, it's through that sadness, I suppose, that you realize, hey, what I've done here is a mistake. And once you make lots of mistakes and once you fail lots of times, each time it should definitely get better.
Yeah.
Because you start to understand what went wrong. And, like we always say, if you make a mistake, it's fine. You take a loss, it's fine. It's normal. You're not going to win every trade you take. But as long as you can try and work out what went wrong in that trade, try and minimize that so it doesn't happen again. Over time, of course, after all these failures, after all that misery, the light comes, the thing in your head switches. You're like, hey, that's what was going wrong. I'm going to adjust this. And then that's when you start to succeed. So it's like, just reminded me when this guy, obviously he went from being, I guess he's been here a year, started off with, started off losing. A year later, he's doing well. And it's just like, yeah, actually this was a nice run through of, happens to absolutely everybody. Losing is normal. Do not be scared or fearful of it.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
I really like that. Yeah, that's a really nice quote. I guess that also actually helps me answer this question much more clear, because I think the way that it changed my personality, or like my approach to a lot of things in daily life as well, is even if something goes bad, who cares? As long as you can reflect on it and turn it into a learning opportunity, then it becomes a positive experience. So in that way, there's no real negative experience anymore. Of course there are exceptions, right? But in general, like with everyday things, the things that go wrong, if you're able to turn this into something that gives you something, then that can bring you ahead in things. And this works for trading, but also in real life. I guess that's the big change that I guess I've realized it already before, but now I'm actually doing it, because I learned how to do it, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And I did manage to find that post with the help
Boom.
of the Fibonacci time. I think this is like a 1 minute clip or something. 30 seconds. I'll play this 30-second clip for the people that are interested in this one with the Fibonacci time pivot. I hope you can hear this. Let's see. The date of the 3618. Let's tell you a second. So if we come over to here, put on our Fibonacci time. The 3618 is coming in at the 16th of April 21. Then the 4 is coming in. It's off the chart. But yeah, the next date, it'd be the 16th of April 21. Okay, so 16th of April 21. So that was the date of the that was calling the Fibonacci time pivot the 16th of April 2021. Hopefully you paid attention to this, everybody, because the day that we actually put in the highs and start to fall down was the 16th of April. That the big move down started on the 16th of April 2021. That was the Fibonacci time pivot. I identified myself during a Champions live stream 2 years in advance. 2 years in advance, 16th of April 2021. The high was put in on the 15th, 14th, and the move down officially started on the 16th of April. Remember at the time myself being very confident, shorting those highs at $65,000 because I had confluence with that Fibonacci time. And of course, we all know the outcome of this. It was a move all the way down to $28,000. This was the lovely post that I love to show people. Called the high of $65,000 using Fibonacci time 2 years in advance. Had a 50% drop to 28K, which we long to 69K. And then we obviously have shorted 69K. We've basically timed high, low, and the next high. Let's see if we get the next low. But yeah, basically Fibonacci time, that's crazy amazing. Next question, if you want to do it, Mike, let's go.
Yes, from Gregor. Learning so much from you, Daniel. Setting up horizontal levels is the key for a good start. You guys make a chart with approximately 2 monthly levels, 3 weekly levels, and 4 daily levels. I make about 45 monthly levels, 122 weekly, and 936 daily levels, and none of them hold. Any advice on how to improve? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think this is a really, really, really common struggle, to be honest. I think a lot of people have this same thing where obviously we teach, and this was actually a method created by myself, the daily levels, the monthly levels, the weekly levels. This was nobody used this. And now loads and loads of people use this. And so if you ever see people using it, they learned from Chart Champions, by the way. This is my method. But yeah, some people obviously when they're first trying to learn this really kind of struggle with it because you can have a lot on your chart if you're not careful. E.g., you can start to add hundreds of levels. Like this guy said, he had 900 daily levels on his chart, or something like this. Like e.g., he's added way too much, and this is really, 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 really common. That people add way too much because they really struggle to identify, okay, which ones are actually significant and which ones have been like tapped, which ones are weakened. Yeah, there's obviously going to be really two ways to answer this. I think you done a really, really good live stream, Mike, in the contenders of how to clear up your charts. No?
Yeah, I actually did. I did a bonus video, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
on how to
Yeah.
clean. Yeah, I remember how to clean up your chart.
Yeah. A lot of people really love that one. So you can either a few recommendations. If you're in the group, then watch Mike's. It's not like even a contenders. It was a bonus live stream that he done.
Yeah.
It is on the website though. I'm pretty sure. It's
Yes,
just under the bonus videos.
yeah, it's the latest bonus video, as a matter of fact. It's called How to Declutter Your Chart.
Yeah, watch that video because it's like a whole video dedicated to the subject. So that's obviously the best way. The second way is also time and experience. It's very difficult to, because the method is obviously an official way. You're only going to mark a daily if it's a daily. You're only going to mark a weekly if it's a weekly. But knowing which levels are strong and which levels are not, that is, in my opinion, going to be down to experience, because you need to know which levels have confluence, which are like significant highs and significant lows. For example, you see this daily. This daily I've left on because this is at a significant high, area of significant highs. This daily I left on because it was at a significant low. I'm not marking hundreds of dailies in here, even though there are, because I know they're not important. There's no major confluences. There are no major pivots. So it comes down to, number one, easiest way, watch Mike's video on the decluttering because it helps a lot. Secondly, just know that with time, 100%, it's going to be one of those things that like click. And you're like, that's what I was doing wrong. And I think it ultimately comes down to confluence and recognizing what's a major level versus what's not. Again, that could be viewed as slightly, it's not a definitive answer, but if you just keep on marking out your levels, week on week, month on month, you are going to start to recognize to yourself, hey, I know this level is not going to be important because there's no other confluence at the level. And if there's nothing else at that level, why would you mark it out? Because one level on its own is not strong. Obviously, this level, we had the confluence with the swing failure pattern, and that's exactly what we had this morning. And we saw a 5% bounce to the upside. For the people that don't appreciate this, 5% is so big. And it was a level tapped. Yeah, it's really perfect. But yeah, that would be my answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and also you don't have to map out, you don't have to try and trade every single level. You can also observe and see if they actually get a reaction, and then if they do, then the next time you can make a better decision on which one to place, potentially.
Yeah.
Small add-on.
Yeah, I agree with that. So your next question, Michael, from Matthew Brine. He says, "Hi, Mike. I've been following both Daniel and yourself and the success you both have in trading, but I presume it didn't start easy for you both. My question is, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made in trading, and what did you learn from it?"
Okay, I'll start off with a very short one and a more recent one. Don't do laundry without setting a stop loss. That's a little bit of a joke, obviously. Actually, it is true. But what is the biggest mistake you've ever made in trading? I guess the biggest mistake that I have been consistently making, especially in the beginning, is finding it really difficult to accept that I'm wrong. Right. So, and that is an ego thing. So I was at a point where I was doing very well, really good analysis, but trading actually not so well. Right. And while I was doing really nice technical analysis, my trading, my execution, and the way that I managed my trade were definitely needed a lot of improvement at that time. And learning to admit that your analysis is not a certainty for a good trade. That I think was the biggest mistake that as not a mistake. It's like a wrong mentality that I had for a very long time, and that was a mistake, right? So I learned from it that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes, right? As long as it provides a new learning opportunity while keeping that risk, or the if you're taking a loss. Even sometimes I make a mistake and I'm still having a profitable trade, right? But I would class that as actually a really bad trade, right? So you know, as long as you're getting something positive out of it or something new to work on in the future, then it's not really a mistake anymore. And refusing to accept that, or accept to take a loss in the beginning, that was very painful for my ego, first of all, but also for my how do you say that, equity curve. Yeah. Yeah. And what did I learn from it? Yeah, well, to not to you know, approach it from a different light, I suppose. I guess that would answer the question.
Yeah, and I'll give my answer really briefly. By the way, thank you for that. Joker just says thank you for the amazing knowledge. Your methods really are a game changer. That's what he wants to say. Thank you. You're welcome. My answer would be, I can't remember the question.
What's the biggest mistake you've ever made in trading,
biggest,
and what did you learn from it?
biggest mistake would be the Snapchat trade, but I think I can do a bit better answer than this. I think overall my biggest mistake in trading was being really greedy with my take profits. When I first started trading, I never wanted to take profits. I would want to always think there's more, and I almost had a fear of taking profits, because I would always think to myself, oh, I'm going to take profits and it's going to go even more. I'm going to lose money. 100. I think for me, that was probably my biggest mistake. Thinking to myself, I cannot take profits because it's going to move on more, and I'm going to lose money by not making enough money. That for me was definitely the biggest mistake, because it's just like in trading today. If I had not been, I obviously don't do this anymore. I'm very, very, very good at taking profits, because I knew that was my biggest weakness. And from recognizing it was my biggest weakness, it's now my biggest strength. And it's like today, you get in a long from the daily, nice bounce. If you do not take profit and you get stopped out of that trade, it's a losing trade. Definitely that's a losing trade. If you take profit one at resistance, you get stopped out, it's a winning trade. That's the difference. Like, to lock in that take profit one is really, really, really important. And honestly, I would never do this. I would do really big wins. Even I used to do wins, relatively large wins, and I would ultimately see them turn to losses because I wouldn't take profits on them, thinking it's going to go higher. And that for me was for sure my biggest weakness. And this is the important thing, though: recognizing your weaknesses and making sure that changes. And now, for sure, I think it's safe to say I'm really, really, really good at taking profits, because I recognize nobody goes broke taking profits, to be honest. Yeah.
And actually making it your strength, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's champions mentality, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I truly think so. I really think so. Cool. Thank you for that. That was nice. No, nice answer. All right, then I have one for you. If you'd have one,
Yeah.
which is from Brian. I think this is a little bit of a touchy one, I suppose. It's from Brian. Could you explain how it works, my friend, when YouTubers profit from their referrals liquidation?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny question. Yeah, it's kind of like, well, it is a real thing. I'm not going to spend too long talking about this because I don't want to. But essentially, just one thing that you got to be aware of is that there is a business of people, and again, I'm not going to say any names. There's a business that you have to be very careful of people that make money off of other people getting liquidated, e.g., large, you could call them influencers, because they are not traders. They might pretend to be, but they are not traders. So we'll refer to them as influencers. Influencers that pretend that they know what they're doing, and at every high will get really, really, really bullish, calling for breakouts, and at every low will get really, really bearish, calling for breakdowns, essentially making all of their followers long resistance and short support. What is the commonality between the influencers that do these breakout trades? They will all show you hard affiliate links, Because why? When the follower that has followed this trade gets liquidated, they receive large payments. Okay. So the question is, how does it work? How are these people making money? They are making money off of their followers essentially getting liquidated, which is, of course, in my opinion, extremely bad business practice. But they do it, and of course they get away with it because. But yeah, essentially that's how it works. They will, sell the dreams. I know I've looked at it. They basically sell a dream of, hey, trading is really easy. Follow this magic indicator. Follow this analysis. All you need to do is buy here, sell here. But of course, it doesn't work, and they just recycle. New people come in. More people buying at resistances. More people selling at supports. More people getting liquidated. They just keep making money from it. So of course, this is why you just have to be extremely careful where you listen and who you follow, because there are, this is why crypto has a really bad name, because there are a lot of scammers. For sure, there are a lot of scammers. So I just think you need to always do your own research. I mean, do your own research on us. Do your own research on everybody that you're going to listen to. Work out why are they doing this. How, just try and do some research about, what's occurring here. And if they are continuously trying to, buy into resistance and sell into support, and their whole focus is to provide an affiliate link, this is a major red flag in my opinion. But do your own research on these people, and that's all I can say. Be careful. That's all I say. Be careful.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scammers, of course, and it gives the space a bad name.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, I agree. What can I say?
So, yeah. I do have, though, that's to bring it onto a more positive note. I do have a special announcement for you all, and that is, well, the special announcement, and this is a cool one, and there is an amazing, again, king of thumbnails, king of pictures. Look at this one that we have for you here. Chart Champions doesn't do signals, but if they did, they'd be the best signals in the world. This is Igor himself with the Carlsberg. This is basically an announcement that Igor, for the people that don't know, you're sleeping. If you don't know who Igor is, you are sleeping. One of the best traders in the world right now. He is going to be doing his, I love your face in it's hilarious. He is going to be doing his first ever Champions live stream on Sunday. That it will be his first ever Champions live stream this Sunday. What his plan is basically delete his whole analysis, delete everything on his charts, build it up from scratch, come to the end of it with an idea of how he's going to look for the next trade. And yeah, that's pretty exciting for him in his journey, for everybody watching this, because if you know Igor, he's the guy that is just bossing the market, and he's going to bring you his first live stream on Sunday. So if you're excited for that, which you really should be, first ever Champions live stream, if you're excited for that, absolutely, the comments are going wild here. Smash that like button as hard as you can. Smash that like button. We got 2,400 people in here and only 1,200 likes. So hit that like, smash it to 2,000. If you're here and you haven't hit the like, shame on you. So smash that like, give some love to Igor in the comments. Give your love to Igor. I'm sure he'll... there he is. He is reading right now. So if you appreciate Igor, if you love Igor, write a lovely comment to him right now. Say, hey, Igor, I'm looking forward. I love you.
Yeah.
And make sure to hit the 60 million long. He's known for the 60 million and 60 million positions at market. He's the
four times a day. And by the way...
session.
Yeah, I love his tastes for socks. So if we ever gonna do like a merchandise kind of thing, like let's do these socks as well, mate.
Got to be the socks and the pajamas.
Love it.
But yeah, that was the announcement. There we go. We got Igor. You got a lot of love, my friend. Oh my God, Igor, please impregnate. Okay.
Oh,
I got
well,
hidden.
that went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Igor, you got a lot of love from the ladies and the men by the looks of it. Igor time, yes. Igor time, 60 million. Bam. Let's
Four
go.
times a day, non-stop.
So the next question I'll ask you then, Mike.
Yes.
Question number 4 of 5. Learning process and trading process itself can be energy demanding and very exhausting. So my question is, have you found the best way to recharge in breaks? How often do you take a break during the day? For example, what do you do and how has that changed over time?
Hmm. Yeah, I really like this question because that is kind of like a thing that's in progress a lot of the time, and the reason for that is that the markets are dynamic, right? So they always change. For example, last year we had like this crazy rise of what was it, from $20,000 all the way to $69,000. So that meant I had days where I was trading like 20 hours a day, whereas what was it, last summer, right? It was not as active as that. I do have a certain structure around it. I do take breaks, and generally I like to take breaks by going out in nature or just taking a walk with my dog. um I, I did that today. Not the best timing, by the way. For those who are in the group, actually, they've seen a picture. It was snowing and everything, so not the best decision, but it did allow me to clear your head. And to answer the part of how did that change over time? Well, obviously, in the beginning, it's really difficult, right? Because when you're learning, it's very common to go through all these emotions. So I would wake up in the middle of the night, and then I would just yeah, I don't know, trade till the morning, and my whole sleep pattern would be completely wrecked, essentially. And that is something that I do consistently, that I don't do consistently anymore, right? So I've kind of like banned it from my schedule, that generally I don't really want to wake up in the middle of the night for trading, because that, for me personally, that results in bad sleeping habits, and that affects my focus and performance that I have through the day, for example. Obviously, if we have like major things happening in the markets, which can happen anytime, yeah, of course there's exceptions, right? But I try to do not to do these things generally, right? Because good rest, good sleep is important. And also, uh, um, the market is not gonna wait for me. Like, this is a quote that I like, that I kind of like. I guess maybe I read it somewhere, maybe I came up with it myself, I don't know. But it's like, the market, if the market is not waiting for me, then why would I? And that refers to the fact that if I want to stop trading for the day, I'm not gonna just sit down behind that screen waiting for this opportunity, like staring at the chart when nothing is happening, right? I'm just gonna decide that it's done for the day, and I'm gonna do something else. And I do set alarms, for example, that if I'm awake and that my computer is maybe still on, then of course I'm going to be interested in continuing to trade if I feel good about it. But I don't let the chart lead my daily life. Which is, I assume, which is a very common thing for many people if you're beginning with trading. It's definitely a tough beast to beat in the beginning, but you do need to have a proper daily structure in order to perform well, essentially. And that structure is for everybody different.
Mm, yeah,
I think, right?
yeah, no, I agree with that. Good answer. Um, I just I'll do two of these bonus questions that have come in, I suppose.
All right.
If you
Yeah,
finish,
go
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
The one was from this guy. He basically just says, why do I not show many losing trades? And the answer for this is actually fairly simple, to be honest with you. Obviously, if I do take a losing, I'm not saying I don't take losses. Of course, I take losses. Actually, funny enough, this was a tweet from yesterday. trying out a new trading strategy, which had a 61% win rate. So obviously I'm losing here. 40%, nearly 40% of the trades have been lost. So I'm not trying to ever pretend I'm 100% win rate. It's obviously this is not going to be the case. I'm not going to win 100% of my trades. Why do you rarely see me taking losses then? And I think this is the case. For the big ideas that I give, it is very rare that I am taking a major loss. This was off of a scalping strategy that I'm doing, basically working out a new style of trading. Of course, there's going to be a lot more losses involved in this than the general day. And really simply, the reason why you do not see me take many major losses when it comes to a pivotal moment in the chart, I'm not actually taking that many pivotal losses. Why? Because my plans are extremely well thought out. Yeah. On top of this, I am very good at hitting that take profit one. And my invalidations are extremely tight. So, a lot of people are always thinking to themselves, I don't know what they might be thinking to themselves. Maybe like, yeah, why do you not show more losses? Why do you not show more losses? Don't think I'm not taking losses, because I am. I'm not even trying to hide that I'm taking a loss. Openly said yesterday I had only a 61% win rate. The thing is that my losses are hardly notable. They're nothing really interesting about it. It's a minuscule loss, okay, up against the wins. And when it comes to the swing trades, yeah, I go on really nice win rates on my swing trades. It's actually pretty rare that I lose a swing trade, to be honest. Why? Because I am extremely patient at waiting for a really good trade, and then I'm really good at letting that trade run as well. And I also am really good at being in those two positions simultaneously, e.g. long from $28,000, short from $69,000. A lot of people are like, hey, you can't lose this trade. Well, yeah, I can actually. If it broke $69,000, I closed the short and maintained long. If we break $28,000, for example, I closed the long and maintained in the short. You are in a position where you cannot lose in that regard. Hey, how'd you get in that position? Well, you had to take the trades in the first place. But yeah, the question is essentially, do I take losses? Of course, the answer is yes. I'm never going to try and hide that I don't take losses. In fact, taking losses is normal. I'm not here to stigmatize or anything like this to say losses are bad. Losses are normal. Losses are part of the game. If you cannot handle taking a loss, you actually cannot handle being a trader. Okay? You have to be able to take losses. But what should that be? Your losses should be much smaller than your winners. Yeah, so the winners are really big. The winners are what we're going to be talking about because, well, first of all, we're taking more wins than we are losses. And second of all, the winners that we're taking are significant, big, lovely trades. The losses that we're taking are small and insignificant. Okay, insignificant in the regards of they're very well defined. They're very small. The risk is small. We're using risk management. So that's the answer to that question. And if you want me to expand upon that question, let me know. But yeah, overall, my answer is, hey, losses are normal. Do not be scared of taking a loss, especially as a scalp trader. You're going to get, 61% win rate as a scalp trader is acceptable. This is fine. It's considered good, to be honest with you. 100% win rate doesn't exist. Or if it does exist, it's very, 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 very difficult. You shouldn't probably be aiming for this. Okay. And the second question that I had that was kind of funny as well was, where was it? Yeah, this one. Because it is true. You just showed a Bybit link today. What's the difference between your link and Cryptos, for example? Well, really simply the way that I would, again, I didn't actually mean to say anybody's name there, but the difference between what I might share and what other people are sharing is you have to think like our sort of, the way that we teach people is based off of education. We are not here to get you liquidated. Yeah, our focus is not liquidations. Okay, we are trying to educate you to avoid liquidations. A lot of our clients come from getting wrecked to saying, hey, now I want to learn. So of course, we do have partnerships with Bybit. I'm not ever going to hide this. We have partnerships with Bybit. I think Bybit are an amazing exchange. So if there's a win-win factor for everybody, I'm not going to turn this, why would we turn this down? So yeah, the question is why are we giving affiliate links if at the same time I'm saying affiliate links are bad, I'm never saying they're bad, because affiliate links, if used well, everybody wins. You get money off fees, you get here like bonuses. We will take back a percentage of the fee that you pay on your market orders. Okay. And in this case, everybody wins. The way they're used bad is if they are used to promote basically people long in resistance, short into support to get liquidated, because then you get paid a lot more. Yeah, so we're taking pennies up against if we were going for the liquidations, where you're getting major, and I know it's major money, major money that you wouldn't even believe. So yeah, obviously, yeah, we are promoting affiliate links as well. Why? Because I truly believe they're good exchanges. We are very, 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 very picky with who we work with, and if there's a deal to be done where everybody wins, I think this is a good scenario in my opinion. So yeah, that was the answer to that question as well. Of this one. And so the next question will be, which is the last question, I believe. Yes, this is the last question for you, Mike. Let me just check.
Oh.
I know I think it's my question of number 4, and then you go for number 5. So
fair enough.
I was getting ahead of myself.
All right, then I have a question for you, which is number 4 out of 5. From Leylin Carton. My question to you, do you remember what you felt when you made your first million? My dream is to be a champion.
Do I remember what I felt when I made my first million?
Yeah.
Probably that I wanted more. I can't, if I'm honest, I cannot remember the exact point of making my first million. Obviously you're referring, I suppose, to Great British pounds. When I made my first million Great British pounds, it was, I suppose, if I'm honest, I cannot remember the exact moment. Of course, at the time, it would have been something really, really, really significant, but also for me, not majorly significant, because yes, I suppose it's a milestone for many people, but also for me, I've never been so drawn to the numbers of like, hey, I made a million. If you know me, and now quite a lot of people do know me in the group because we've done lots of meetups, I've met thousands of the members. You will also know I don't really spend my money really, so it also just like really kind of makes like I don't know. Yeah, I made a million, but yeah, I suppose I didn't really feel anything per se. I suppose it would have been a feeling of happiness and proud that I made that million, but it wasn't something that I really celebrated. I never celebrated making my first million. Because I suppose I always have been under this perspective of I can lose it tomorrow. So I never like to like celebrate it, because it's also like, why would I celebrate something per se that I can? And I guess some people are going to be like, oh, this doesn't make sense. But for me personally, I don't really like to celebrate the numbers, because of this realization that I can lose it all really, really quickly. Just as quick as I've made it, I can lose it. So for me to get excited or happy or celebrate making the first million, I think it never even crossed my mind. Obviously I'd have acknowledged, hey, I've made £1 million, but it was not something I celebrated, because firstly, I mean, honestly, it was not really that significant to me. That's not to say the money wasn't significant. Of course, this is a massive amount of money, especially at the time. That would have been like crazy, but it also was not something I ever thought to myself, this is going to change my life. My life was exactly the same when I made my first million, when I've made my first multi-millions. It's like my life really did not change in the slightest. The difference is I could buy more things, but the thing is I don't really buy a lot of things. Buy maybe real estate, invest in some more investments, invest in some other companies, things like this, I suppose. But my day-to-day life and how I approach things really didn't change at all. That's the honest truth. So yeah, I don't think anything changed when I made my first million, to be honest.
Can I add something to that?
Hmm.
Um, I think it's also you get used to the numbers as they increase, right? So let's say you start with, I don't know, $5,000 or something like that, or £5,000 or euros, whatever currency you're in. As
Hmm.
you learn and as you grow, as you mature as a trading personality, I would say, right? You increase your equity, and actually it is also like super relative. At least that is how I always perceived it. Yes, you can lose it in any instant, but also as your position size grows, it kind of becomes more normal, right?
Hmm.
And you grow, your mentality grows with your capital, so to speak. So for that reason, when you don't have it, obviously it's crazy amount of money. But when you are actually there, you don't even it's not on the front of your thoughts, right? Because when you're actually breaching that point, you're probably like in the middle of a trade or something, you
Hmm.
know, and focusing on different things.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. There we go. Then
Yeah.
that question.
I was also just thinking, so
So
silence is not wrong.
here is your question to end from. This is from Vic. Apparently, Vic is very keen for you, Mike. What is your favorite thing to spend money on, Mike?
Oh, well, that's kind of like an extension of
Yeah.
the thing that we just got. Well, yeah, I'm also really not a big spender, It's quite funny. Like sometimes people ask me, or if I meet some champions from the group, or like other people, they ask probably the first thing they ask me is like, what kind of car you drive? Well, yeah, I just drive a normal car, I don't spend my money on luxurious goods. I don't it's not that I live a like that I want to live a poor life. It's just I like to spend money on things that interest me, which is like I like to invest in quality of life things, like places that I can go to with my friends and family. I like to spend my money on very good quality food. um I have a hobby of building computers and buying techniques for that. So yeah, I have a ton of screens, and yeah, that's not the cheapest hobby. But that's what I like to, I don't really like to spend money on it, but it's a hobby. So I do spend money on that, and video games. So it's not, my interest does not lie in material things. To be fair, it's if I like something, and if I like doing it, and also if I can share experiences with other people, then that is what I like to spend my money on.
Cool, man.
Yeah, nothing more to say about that,
Nice,
really.
easy question.
Yeah. Yeah. um then we have one more question for you, Daniel, which is starting off with a very big double thank you, guys. The one written by Alexander Castro, by the way. The one question I ask myself is, how can you guys be so good at what you do and yet be so humble? The other day that Daniel did the stream during his vacation, I felt like a friend of mine was giving me advice on all aspects of life. Muchas gracias a todos en Sisipool. Okay, I'm gonna finish this sentence. Y Sisipo le envía su condolencias. I don't speak
That was
Spanish.
actually pretty good Spanish, to be fair, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
um, I don't really know how to answer this question, but yeah, I suppose.
I guess a rephrasing of that is what probably drive us to do this, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. How yeah, I suppose. Um, it's a really difficult question. I think you need to think about. Let me try and think. I guess you need to think about like what is your purpose? Like you say, like why are you doing this? If your purpose is If your purpose in life is to make money and get rich, um, then I suppose when you make money, then you're probably not going to appear to people as a humble person, because you're going to be focused on material possessions, like kind of like what we've been saying in the last few questions. Like if you live life in literally like a selfless manner, where you are happy to dedicate yourself to others, almost like just focused on the service, focused on your job, focused on making the world, I feel like to say, like, make the world a better place. Your happiness is derived from other people's happiness. So you see someone smile, that makes you smile. If you can live your life, and it's very easy to say this, by the way, but you have to truly believe and actually feel this. But if you can, and I believe everybody is good, like I'm really really good at believing in people. um I'm really 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 love people, and I do believe that the vast majority of people are like this. Yes, there's always a few bad eggs, I suppose, in the batch. There's always going to be some people that don't want the best for everybody. But I do believe that at heart, 99.9% of the people do have this. Some people can get mistracked, some people go off course, but I do think it the best in people, generally speaking. And I think so. Like the question was, how do you remain humble? Well, this is personal opinion. Some people will say I'm not humble, I'm really egotistical, I'm really braggy. Some people has like, hey, you're really humble. I try and live my life not to please others. I live my life, uh you know not caring really what other people think of me. If people love me, great. If they don't love me, hey, this is also fine by me. It doesn't bother me. Um, so I think like when you're focused on the material possessions, it's because you're so focused on impressing other people. Yeah. If you buy a really nice car and you're not a car person, are you buying this for yourself, or are you buying this to impress others? Like I can't remember who said the quote, but so many people spend their money to impress others when the others actually really don't care. So it's just like a whole never ending cycle of, I want to impress other people, I want to buy this, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. If you can remove that from your life and actually like truly think, hey, I literally don't care what anybody else thinks of me, you literally become so much happier. Because I used to buy a lot of material possessions. Again, I could ramble on about these things. So I used to buy a lot of material possessions. I used to be very focused on basically what other people thought of me. Wanted to try and, I suppose, buy the nice cars. I've gone through this, bought all this, bought all this, and then I realized, hey, this adds absolutely no happiness to my life. You buy the Ferrari, 1 week later, you're bored of it. It adds nothing to my life. And once you've gone through that, I suppose it's a lot easier to experience it. Once you've gone through that, then you will actually acknowledge, hey, what does make me happy? And I think it's a really important thing, especially in the age of 2022, what we're in now. Many people struggle with, um what's the word, mental illnesses, or like, like depression, sadness, the feeling of being alone. And I'm no different than this. Yeah, I'm no different. I even, I go through periods where I feel really sad, where I feel alone, where I'm feeling depressed. And money doesn't change this. Yeah, money doesn't make you happy. And I've, hopefully, and this is why I like to say these things, to remind myself of these things, that if you truly want to be happy, I mean this from the heart, and I truly mean this. I think the only way that you can achieve true happiness is through other, almost through yourself, and also through other people. You have to truly love yourself, and you have to truly love other people. And I think the best way of being happy is like just forming like the simple things in life, going for a meal with your friends. It's the real simple things in life. Giving back, donating to somebody, changing their life in a way, and giving them something that they never thought was imaginable. This is such a good feeling. Just making other people smile, making them feel warm, building the connections. I think this is the way to live life. So I suppose, like, the question was, how do I be so humble? I guess I'm not thinking about being humble. I'm not thinking about this. I'm just thinking about, I truly believe this. How can I make the world a better place? And if I live my life with the goal of every day trying to do my best, to make the world a better place. Well, when I see this coming to reality and I see the people's comments, I see the people like truly appreciating my work, I think that feels really good. And of course, for me, winning trades, winning trades makes me feel really good as well. I'm not gonna lie, that's I'm a very competitive person. Like when I do something, I want to be the best. For me, there's nothing else. I want to be the best at what I do, and this also for me provides happiness. To be honest with you, but yeah, I think the overall answer would be focus on loving yourself. Don't care what other people think of you. It really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. You're gonna always have haters. You know, the amount of haters that Chart Champions has is high, because when you are the best, people are always gonna be jealous and people are always gonna try and drag you down to their level. And what I've learned over the years is just say, love them. Actually, I know I've learned something even better than that. Ignore them. Do not even give them the time or energy, because if you start giving them bad energy, well, it reciprocates back into you in some way or form. So ignore the haters, ignore the people that are going to try and bring you down. Focus on the positivity, focus on the love, focus on what you can do today to improve yourself, be that learning something about trading, be that giving to a homeless guy on the street, whatever this might be. Focus on how you can improve yourself and improve others, and live your life. Just live your life how you want to live it, and this is how you can come across humble to some people, ignorant to others. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It only matters what you think, because at the end of the day, that's how you're going to be happy. So I think if you're happy, hey, everybody's happy, or at least hopefully. So yeah, that would be my answer. Tangent, but you know I love to go on tangents.
Amen, my friend. Very well said. Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. Helping people, giving back in some way or form is just, it transcends anything. You know, no money can buy anything of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah, man. Well, there we go. So I think, oh, there we go. This is really funny. Our news. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, by the way, which is free, this is the newsletter. I haven't read this. I just saw this come out from the self someone posting. But yeah, I think yeah. If there's anything else that you can think of, Mike? Is there any final words that you want to say?
Well, what I would say is, yeah, in the end, just this community is amazing, you know, like the way that everybody has been engaging with us, especially over the last few weeks, is nothing but just, you know, I love it. I love to see it, and I'm really proud of the fact that we are sitting here doing this kind of stream, answering some questions from the community, you know, having like this kind of discussion. It's kind of like a different stream than we usually do, but I think it's really, really good to, you know, engage with each other. So final words, yeah. Thanks for engaging with us, and destroying that like button also.
Smash the likes.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I would say is like, yeah, I guess it's kind of rare that we are going so in depth about a lot of these kind of topics as well. So I'd say, like, you know, cherish this stream, I suppose, and hopefully it can give you a little bit of some leads on what you want to achieve for yourself or for others as well. I guess those are my last words.
Cool, man. Yep. Nice way to end. My final words will be, I suppose, yeah, I echo Mike. Thank you, everybody, for the support. What a year 2021 was. You know, absolutely wonderful. What a year 2022 is always going to be better. Every day is going to be better. So, yeah, obviously looking forward thoroughly to 2022. Obviously for the aspect of, if you want to learn what we teach, then of course Chart Champions you know, is set up with the goal of assisting and helping you. So if you want a team, if you want to join in on Eagle's live stream on Sunday, that's going to be a good one. But it's if you want the every single day, somebody here inside of the community to assist you, to help you, then obviously this is the team that we have formed. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to see that, that's chartchampions.com. You get all the educational material, as well as some of the heads up on some of these levels, ideas, and trades, and also the community that goes along with it. Yes, and if you want to sign up but to Bybit, you could use our code down in the description below as well. But yeah, I suppose for me, really, this is it.
There's one thing. The one thing I want to reply on in the chat. I got some messages also in right now coming in from into the Discord, which is Mike. Thanks for all the free stuff. Send it by mail. You're welcome.
There we go. CC Paul, send their regards.
Exactly.
Somebody says, Daniel got me through my darkest times of my life. So for that, I have forever grateful, greater. Daniel is more of a life. Hey, I'm going to end this now, I suppose, before we go on for too long, because yes, as she says, love is in the air right now. Love is in the air. So we're going to go off and we're going to have to slide into the DMs. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Honestly, hope that you've really enjoyed this one. Again, as Mike said, a bit different than normal, but it's nice to share all aspects of life, because at the end of the day, not everything is about trading. Yes, we are a trading community. Yes, our focus is, of course, trading and making you a better trader. But hey, if we could talk about life, this is also nice from time to time, though. Hopefully you can use it as a bit of motivation or inspiration. So yeah, thank you ever so much.
Definitely.
And that's it, really. CC Paul, send their regards.
Sends their regards. Have a really great evening, and yeah, see you in the next video, I suppose.
See you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, and good night.